Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, but above all, Happy Holidays. Hey, this is John, host of Video Games in the World, and welcome to part 3 of my playthrough of The Legend of Zelda to The Adventure of Link. So last time we did ran some errands before getting to Medoro and beat the second boss of the second dungeon, Medoro Palace, the Helmet Head. And now we are headed on a new quest to get to the third dungeon. But first, we're gonna go into the woods and obtain a note from Bagu, which is needed to cross the bridge in order to get to Death Mountain, and crossing the bridge in the water town of Saria. Okay, this is Bagu. Bagu is my name. Show my node to Riverman. Bagu. Could have been ragu. Like ragu sauce, you know. Delicious. Well, there's some areas that you can get experience points in that forest area. Oh, good. Experience points bag. So now we're going to cross this bridge in order to get to the water town of Saria. There you go. Now those skull heads can take away 10 experience points away from you. Alright, so now we are in the water town of Saria, and let us... small graveyard. Alright. Now we gotta talk to this guy and show him Bagu's node. You know Bagu? Then I can help you cross. There we have it, the bridge. I remember when I was a kid, I tried using the jump magic to cross that area, but I wasn't gonna make it anyway. Well, whoever made it with the jump magic, credits to you. Okay, so now, in order to get the hammer, we have to scale down Death Mountain. Well, at least those those boulders don't fall like in the original Zelda and later games. But it's like a maze, trying to get all the way down to Death Mountain. But the good thing about it is that it's a great place to level up, in a way. Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha. And now we are introduced to a new enemy. This looks like a Dinolfos, but I don't think that's a Dinolfos. Let me see what that enemy is called. So, oh Jesus, these guys again in this place. Okay, so that monster is called the Dairas. For a moment, I thought they were Dinolfos, you know. Now, the Daira in The Legend of Zelda makes its only appearance in The Adventure of Link, and also appeared in Captain N the Game Master, the Valiant comics of The Legend of Zelda, The Faces of Evil, Wand of Gamelon, two Zelda games that I do not consider true Zelda games. And in Cadence of Hyrule, they appear as enemies. For the Nintendo Switch, of course. Now, the orange ones, they just attack you with their axes, but the red ones, they throw it at you. Ooh. You know, I never played the Faces of Evil or Wand of Gamelon, and I'm not planning to play them anytime soon, nor ever. But I've seen them in video clips, and oh my god, that game looks awful! And I've seen the Angry Video Game Nerd's review on it. Can't blame him for saying that that game was crappy. Now, the thing about the Iras is that they can be a major pain in the ass, but the good thing is that they can give you lots of experience points. Like the orange ones gives you 70, and the red ones like 100 or something like that. Like 100, as you saw. I mean. A blue Garaya. $30 experience points. Another one. Oh boy. Don't. Ah, Jesus. He got me. Huh. A little compensation never hurt anyone in a way. The bag of experience points, you know. Okay, so I'm almost there. Woohoo! Gotcha. Just in case. There you go. And I didn't have to activate the shield magic. Ain't that cool? Alright, so this is the final cave to get all the way down to Death Mountain, from Death Mountain. There you go. Alright. Recover life. And now, let us get the hammer. But, like all other items, it's protected. Gotcha. Okay. Gargoyles. Now, I'm sure they have it. I know they have a different name. It's called the Eggman or something. The Eggman? I always call them Keys, or should have been called Keysman or something. And I just leveled up. Thank God. Funny thing is that your physical attacks take longer to level up. But the more of these nasty monsters you fight, the better. Okay. Now, these enemies that crawl on the ground, a stab, the downward stab is only capable of killing these enemies. The Mews, those little thorn-like enemies. Funny how so many enemies in this game never return into... Now, some of these enemies that you see in the game, they did not return in other mainstream Legend of Zelda games. And there we go. Got the hammer. Now, the hammer is useful to break boulders blocking your way. So right now, we are going to break the boulder nearby this cave, and then we're going to get the next magic upgrade. The next magic potion. Now, locations of the magic potions are south of the North Palace at the beginning of the game. You can either do it without get it without obtaining a candle, or after obtaining a candle if you like. Near the graveyard at Death Mountain, that's where you get that magic bottle, which we are going to now. West of Maze Island Palace, which is later on in the game, and then Anu Kazuto, which is also later on in the game. There, we got a magic potion. But that doesn't mean that the life magic is gonna take half of your magic. Because the life magic, it takes a lot of it. Come on, fairy. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so I better be careful. There's an Octorok coming. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so now we are headed to this cave and cross this bridge. Red moblins. A blue one. And now we got a bunch of flying bubbles, but luckily none of those are flying. Oh, there's a Daira. Oh, Jesus. Now the Dairas look more like crocodiles than T-Rexes or something like that. In some areas of the map, you can find extra lives, but once you obtain these lives, that's the only time you'll ever get them. Thank God for fairies. Before we get to the next village, we're gonna get another heart container. I mean, first let's go to the village then. The harbor town of Mido. If you played Ocarina of Time, you know who Mido is. That kid who bullied Link in Kokiri Forest. Ask Error of Ruto about the palace. I could go back, but it took so long to get here. The island palace in the south has a raft. Now, the raft is needed to go to Eastern Hyrule. And now, we're gonna get up on the church. There you go. So this is an ability we're going to learn. When you jump, press downward to stab. Yeah. Now this is a downward stab, ladies and gentlemen. Link would use this technique in Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, and I'm sure he uses this in Breath of the Wild as well. And also, you see the downward stab in Super Smash Brothers. Come back anytime. So what is the little errand we need to do here for this lady? Please, my daughter is sick. Help her. Okay. So now we're gonna have to get the water of life in order to save this lady's daughter. Okay. Oh. Goria's love to fight, that's for sure. Okay. Now we can kill those Mews. Okay. I was planning to go see Star Wars today, but I'm gonna see it on the weekend. There we go. We got a heart container in this cave, and now it's time to go to our next quest, which is obtain the water of life, which is at the beginning of Medoro Swamp. And I don't need to go all the way down to Death Mountain anymore, which is a good thing. And here's a cool thing, you can take down trees with a hammer. But that's too... But when you take down a tree, you can... Later on in the game, you can use the hammer to go to the new Kasudo town. Oh, brother. Well, they don't rest until they kill you. They're Ganondorf's minions. So, according to the story of The Legend of Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, or simply Zelda 2: Adventure of Link if you like, here's the thing. When Ganon was defeated by Link, Ganon's enemies wanted revenge. So then, they believed that the only way to resurrect Ganon was to use the blood of the one who defeated him. Link, of course. And at that time, one of Ganon's loyal servants, Karok, put a sleeping spell on Zelda. Huh. And then... Link is set out on a quest to save her. There we go. The water of life. And now, let us get out for the moment. And let us head back to the village. So Legend of Zelda takes place like a few years after Ganon's defeat, and Link is 16 years old, and has the Triforce mark on the back of his hand. And Impa tells him the story of how ages ago the King of Hyrule had hidden a third part of the Triforce, the one of courage, in the Great Palace to safeguard it from evil. Upon the King's death, his son searched for the missing Triforce, but its location had been imparted only to the King's daughter, the Princess. Angered upon learning this, the prince tried to use the power of a magician to force the truth from his sister. After she refused, Karok put a sleeping spell on her, which caused the wizard to die soon after. So only by uniting the Triforce with its counterparts, it's the only way to awake Princess Zelda. So Ganon's minions are ready to attack Link and pour his blood over his ashes. Over Ganon's ashes. So, you know, I really like how they have the third Triforce in this game. So now it's time to get a new magic. This magic word will give you power. It's the fairy magic. Now, the fairy magic turns Link into a fairy, but at the same time, it helps Link reach places that the jump magic cannot help him reach. Well, folks, it's time for me to wrap up this video. Hopefully, the next one will be uploaded today. So, happy holidays!